What is up, guys? I'm back here with another video this week, and by the title of this video you can probably already tell that I'm going to talk to you guys about how exactly I learned and am learning Chinese from absolutely nothing. And it's pretty funny because I actually didn't want to ever study Chinese as a kid, because when I was in high school, actually, we had the option to choose a foreign language to learn, and it might have been Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, or French, and I signed up for Chinese. And it's funny because in that exact summer, I remember so vividly searching up online, what is the hardest language to learn? And all the answers literally have said Mandarin Chinese. And basically, as a gullible kid, I didn't want to learn the hardest language in the world, and so I bailed on that, and I ended up taking Spanish for about 4 years. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video to really explain to anyone who wants to learn Mandarin Chinese that it's not the hardest language to learn. Definitely depends on your background, because I can say that for anyone who has a English maybe background, learning Chinese might be easier as opposed to maybe like if you had a background in Japanese or in Korean, because their grammar structures are very different from English and Chinese. So if you guys have some interest in learning Chinese and you just want to get some tips on how to get started, then definitely keep on watching, because I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly like how I really got started. So the very first thing that I ended up doing to learn Chinese was trying to learn how to read and write. And so doing that, you kind of need to know how to basically write the alphabet. So learning how to write simplified characters and also how to read pinyin is definitely a big thing. And one of the very first things that I ended up doing was buying a textbook. I bought this one here called Learning Mandarin Chinese Characters Volume 1, and it pretty much has all the characters you need for HSK Level 1, which is like a proficiency exam that you take if you want to work in China at some point in your life. And it's really awesome because they give you all these like spaces to write down each character, but they also give you like the traditional and also like definitions and basically some examples that you might want to read. I really like this first one because they give you actual exercises after every single chapter, which is about like 30 characters, to really practice your actual Chinese. The second book I got was called Mandarin Chinese Characters by Collins Publishings, and it's pretty much very similar to the first one, but this one doesn't actually have any exercises where I can practice writing sentences and stuff. It's purely just characters, which is something that I don't mind as well. I just haven't used it inside of the book as much, as you can tell. So I practiced writing Chinese characters over and over again inside of those textbooks, but I found that I needed to write some more, so I ended up buying some notebooks that were just right for learning Chinese. So I ended up buying these 2 notebooks here just to give me more practice writing and reading with my own writing as well. You can tell in the very first one that I have here, I literally wrote down every single HSK character that was in the first exam, so it was about like over 180 or something like that. Pretty insane, but it looks so nice when you write it out like this, as you can tell. Really glad I ended up buying these notebooks, because when I was first starting out to write, I practiced writing on lined pieces of paper, and writing Chinese characters on lined pieces of paper is kind of difficult because you can never really tell how big you need to write something. So I found those notebooks like super helpful, and I ended up buying like a couple more, and I bought these ones from like a Japanese store near my house, so definitely recommend getting them if you're a first-time learner. The next thing that I ended up buying was something that I don't think everybody needs, but for me, it definitely helped because I'm more of a visual learner. So the colors on my pens definitely do impact my ability to memorize things. So after studying Chinese on textbooks, pieces of paper, and writing things pretty much a bajillion times, I wanted to find some time to study passively. So downloading some apps like this one here called Pleco was really helpful for me to study Chinese, because it's basically like a flashcard game where you can reveal, hide different cards, flashcards, and also write stuff as well in the case that you wanted to practice your writing in pinyin or in actual Chinese character writing as well. The next app that I really like is called Chinese Simple HSK1, and it's pretty much an app strictly for every single character in the Chinese HSK1 exam. It's about 150 to 200 characters, and it's pretty awesome because in this app, you can also read stories, you can play games, you can open flashcards, you can even listen to stories and play games at the same time. So I pretty much studied like all of HSK1 vocabulary, and so I kind of wanted to like take some time to learn HSK2 just in case I wanted to study for HSK2 exam in the future. Pretty much the same thing as HSK1. It's got all the vocabulary, all the stories, And yeah, definitely recommend this for you guys. So at this point in my language learning journey, I felt pretty comfortable kind of like reading and writing characters within HSK1, so about 150, but I did not feel comfortable at all speaking. And you might be like, yo, like, what do you mean you don't know how to speak? You know how to write? Well, to be honest, guys, like, speaking is so much different than writing and reading. And so I never really put the time into learning how to speak and converse as native speakers, so I ended up signing up for a Chinese school at a local cultural center in my city. I didn't know how to say a lot of things in actual person, and actually trying to converse with someone was definitely something that I never really considered either at that point. So if you guys have the opportunity to sign up for Chinese classes where you can speak with a native speaker, would definitely recommend it. So because of COVID-19 and kind of like everything that's going on in the world right now, my classes in Chinese school ended up getting canceled, unfortunately. It kind of sucked because I really did like going to class every single week, every single Saturday, because it did keep me accountable to learning Chinese, and I ended up not procrastinating too much because I was pretty up to date with the assignments and the lessons that we were learning in class. But you know, what can you do? You just gotta roll with the punches. So what I ended up doing from then was that I knew that in our class we were kind of basing our lessons each week off a textbook called HSK1 Standard Course. And if you guys don't know what this is, it's a pretty awesome book, because in this book they teach you basically kind of all the basics of how to learn Chinese, how to learn characters, casual conversations. I really like this textbook because it was a really good way to kind of segment each introductory kind of topic. So whether you're learning how to say ni hao, or nice to meet you, my name is, and what you're doing, walk you through every single word, every single sentence structure, and provide you the English translation as well. It'll also give you some opportunities to write stuff as practice, which is really great. The next thing that I ended up using was something that I don't think everyone has access to, but I was really lucky enough because my dad was coming back from Vietnam at the time, and my aunt bought me a bunch of books that were translating from Vietnamese to Chinese. And you guys know that I do speak Vietnamese because I am Vietnamese Canadian. Yeah, so here's one of the books. I got about like 10 or 11 books actually, but this one is basically teaching us basic conversations in Chinese and Vietnamese. There's different books that will provide you kind of like different sentences in different settings. And I guess one of the last things that really helped me learn Chinese to this day is just purely just watching YouTube. And I know it's pretty simple to say that, but honestly guys, there are so many YouTube channels out there that are teaching Chinese literally. If you search up it now, you'll probably get like 100 different options. For example, this video here is pretty much a mashup of like 150 Chinese characters that you will need for HSK1. And they have things like HSK2, HSK3, HSK4, videos, all about that stuff and more. Alright guys, so that's pretty much a wrap. I hope you guys learned something from this. I know that my language learning journey might have been all over the place, but that's pretty much how I started learning Chinese. So yeah, if you guys did like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you can be notified when I post a video next. And yeah, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.